Good evening, San Diego. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carlene Chavis, and thank you for tuning in for your CBS 8 Plus weather update. We've had lots of sunshine in the forecast in the afternoon hours over the past few days, but you saw more clouds starting to roll in, and that's just a sign of things to come. So we are looking at more cloud cover in the forecast, especially for tomorrow. And by the weekend, we're going to see a little bit more of a break and see that sunshine in the afternoon hours. But because we have this low pressure system that's going to be over us, that's going to add to the instability. When we talk about instability, it translates to active weather for showers as well as thunderstorms. So those chances will start to go up over the weekend. When we look at the weather headlines, so you have the deepening of the marine layer. You saw the cloud cover rolling in. You can see it right there from our Mount Soledad cam. It's going to intensify as we go from tonight through tomorrow morning. With the deepening of this marine layer extending all the way to the coastal mountain slopes, that also leads to a chance of seeing some light measurable rainfall. So a few hundredths of an inch here or there. That's enough to get roads slick. It's not going to be a lot, but a little misty at times, dreary as well to get our Friday started as this low closes in and brings in that deeper marine layer. It also will bring in some cooler temperatures. Most of our daytime highs look to be in the 70s for tomorrow, and that also includes the inland valleys. So you're talking about most of the county is going to be in the low 70s for daytime highs, even some upper 60s for daytime highs. So yeah, the cloud cover is really going to kind of change things up around here, especially because we've had daytime highs that have been into the 80s and 90s over the past few days. This will carry into the weekend with below seasonal temperatures, and as mentioned, that instability in the atmosphere that offers up a chance for some showers and thunderstorms from Friday all the way through Sunday, but the more favorable location will be the mountains. We have wind gusts that are starting to pick up, and that's because of this approaching low pressure system. So the peak of those wind gusts look to be tonight through tomorrow morning. So this afternoon actually through tomorrow morning. You're talking about peak wind gusts into the 30s, and that's going to be for the mountains as well as for the desert. West of the mountains, more reflective of the teens. So about 17 miles per hour for peak wind gusts for Oceanside as well as for downtown San Diego. So we're talking more of a breeze than anything else. It's not high enough to warrant any alerts or anything like that. It's just ushering in that cooler air that's going to help bring down those temperatures. There's that area of low pressure. We've been keeping a close eye on it. I've been talking about this. It's the same one since Sunday. Yeah, it cut off from the jet stream, kind of does its own thing. We call them a closed low or cut off low. And so as a result, it doesn't have anything kind of pushing it forward. That's what you typically see when you do have the jet stream. It acts like a conveyor belt pushing different systems through the region. So this one got cut off from the jet stream, but it does look to rejoin as we go into the days ahead. But because it's been kind of hanging around, that's led to the cloud cover that we've seen, the moments of showers that we've seen since about Sunday. Sunday, it was a really dreary day, a lot of cloud cover that was out there. We got a little bit of a break because the low moved a little bit more offshore towards the west and then towards the north of us. But it's going to move in towards the south, and as a result, moving over Southern California, that increases our chances for some wet weather in the forecast, looking to be more favorable across the mountains for the most active area for our county. It's still going to present a chance, so about 24% chance we could see some showers throughout the day on Friday. That mainly looks to be focused in the morning hours with a deepening of the marine layer, and that will be by the morning hours, and then by the afternoon, holding on to a slight chance we could see some activity. But it's not going to be a whole lot going on west of the mountains. Most of it's going to be focused a little bit more away from it. When we look at our overnight lows, those are going to remain pretty consistent. Widespread 50s and 60s in the forecast when it comes to our overnight lows, and even seeing 48 degrees for Mount Laguna, 68 degrees for Borrego Springs, 66 for downtown tomorrow. Also 62 to get the day started for Poway as well as for Miramar. Look at these daytime highs. These are well below seasonal for this time of the year. So around the mid 80s is what's typical for the inland valleys. You've had that recently. You're getting away from it. The cooler air will bring back the low 70s for daytime highs, even seeing 69 degrees for Alpine, 73 degrees for Escondido, the same for El Cajon. You also have 70 degrees for downtown and some upper 60s right there for Carlsbad as well as for Encinitas, getting away from triple-digit heat for the desert at 90 degrees for daytime highs tomorrow. Your surf forecast about 2 to 4 feet and a moderate risk of rip currents at our local beaches, but that will change up over the weekend. So we have Narda. Narda we've been tracking over the past few days. It's a Category 1 hurricane. It has maximum sustained wind speeds at about 90 miles per hour, and it's picked up a little bit more speed. Around this time yesterday, it was moving slowly towards the west at about 10 miles per hour. It's moving towards the west at about 16 miles per hour. So it's going to encounter a pool of some warmer water, and as a result, result, it increases to a Category 2 with the latest forecast cone. But then once we get past that, you can see upper level winds actually steer it a little bit more towards, so it goes west and then a little bit more towards the north and then a little bit more towards the east. Once it encounters that pool of some cooler waters, that's when it becomes post-tropical, looking at that into the start of next week. So we're keeping a close eye on Narda because the passage of Narda is also going to elevate our surf. Long period south swell is expected. It's going to lead to the elevated surf. Strong rip currents will also be present at our coastline. So this is going to start on Sunday and last all the way through Tuesday. Now, we are looking at the elevated surf for San Diego County, about 5 to 6 feet, but it's going to be even higher, and that's going to lead to some coastal erosion possibilities right there for Orange County. Orange County is going to have that surf about 5 to 7 feet with sets about 8 to 10 feet possible. So that will be the focus because of Narda, the indirect impacts that we're going to see as it does continue to move through the Pacific. When we look at our extended forecast, there's your chance for the morning showers. Remember, a few hundredths of an inch, so that's enough to get roads slick. So please give yourself some extra time out there tomorrow morning, and the low 70s for daytime highs as that low does close in. The low will linger a little bit more over the weekend. Temperatures will increase with a little bit more sunshine on Saturday afternoon, but in the afternoon and early evening hours, that's when we're anticipating the potential being there for any thunderstorm activity. This mainly is reflective of areas that are going to be east of the 15 when it does come to those chances, and they're fairly low but still present on our forecast. Then we dry out by the second half of the weekend. Temperatures warm up into the start of next week, back to those 80s. That will be for the inland valleys, back to the 70s by Tuesday of next week. Across the mountains, that's where it's more favorable, and those chances are not high. You're talking about a 20 to 30, even upwards of 40% chance as we go through the next few days. Saturday seems to be the more favorable day that we could see a little bit more activity, and that's because the low moves a little bit more towards the east, tapping into some of that Gulf moisture. So we look at chances for some showers and thunderstorms during the afternoon and evening hours. That will be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the mountains. Also, cooler temperatures going right back into 60s for daytime highs. And for the desert, you could see that chance straying a little bit more into the desert. That's on Saturday with a slight chance for an afternoon thunderstorm or two. And then also looking at some temperatures going right back into those 80s before the 90s return by the start of next week. I hope you have a great night, and thanks for tuning in.